Okay, Kyle, whenever you're ready, can you roll that beautiful bean footage? Sorry. Okay, here's the first one.
Your child is born with more than 400 psychological traits that will emerge as they mature, and they have nothing to do with you. So the idea that you are going to engineer personalities and IQ and academic achievement skills and all these other things just isn't true. Your child is not a blank slate on which you get to write. The better view is that your child is a genetic mosaic of your extended family, which means this is a unique combination of the traits that run in your family line. I like the shepherd view. You are a shepherd. You don't design the sheep. The engineering view makes you responsible for everything, everything that goes right and everything that goes wrong. This is why parents come to us with such guilt, more guilt than we've ever seen in prior generations, because parents today believe that it's all about them and what they do. And if they don't get it right, or if their child has a disability, they've done something wrong, when in fact the opposite is true. This has nothing to do with your particular brand of parenting. So I would rather that you stop thinking yourself as an engineer and step back and say, I am a shepherd to a unique individual. Shepherds are powerful people. They pick the pastures in which the sheep will graze and develop and grow. They determine whether they're appropriately nourished. They determine whether they're protected from harm. The environment is important, but it doesn't design the sheep. No shepherd is going to turn a sheep into a dog.
That was good. That was so good. I had so many thoughts within that too. I totally agree with him. And he said shepherd. I think I tend to use the word coach a lot of the time, but the other perspective that he was giving of like being an engineer and trying to like control your child's life, I see a lot of controlling parenting, which is a style of toxic parenting, and that really like robs your child of their creativity or their problem solving. There's a lot of criticism in that type of parenting style to like fit your kid into the box of what you think they need to be. And I think that can really destroy self-esteem as well. So this idea, of like, we are getting to know our child in every phase and accepting and like just kind of guiding. Like a coach is encouraging and excited for their team player, but they're also going to like gently guide. But this is all, again, in this I think theme that I'm going to keep coming back to because it's part of my ethos that life is about lessons. So if your kid is learning a lesson, if they're amid a lesson, which means they might really be fucking up, like that's okay. We want to keep them safe, obviously, but like there's wiggle room there for making mistakes.
Grace,
And grace. And the same thing with being a parent. Like it isn't perfect. I love following and having discussions with people that are okay with talking about the messiness of parenting and that it is like the societal stress that we feel, just like he was saying, is higher than ever for parents.
Yeah.
How do you feel as a parent when it comes to that?
Yeah, everything you said was amazing. I like the idea that like every human is like unique and like created in like it's their own like a snowflake, you know?
Like a snowflake.
Yeah, and so like I feel like as parents that we have to like encourage our kids to like emerge like who they're gonna actually become, rather than like project who we want them to be.
Yes.
Because what ends up happening is that when you grow up and your parent has really just projected things onto you, you kind of find yourself in a life that you were just trying to be a people pleaser and live for the approval.
Yeah.
And like you might have, like for me, I remember I would gravitate toward whatever I was being encouraged most on.
Yes.
So then like it was all about like, okay, that got a positive response from somebody, so that's what I'm gonna pursue. So I got like good at music because I was like pretty good at singing, but I wouldn't, it wasn't like my absolute passionate love or whatever. I mean, I love music, don't get me wrong, but
but it's just interesting, isn't it, that like their little personalities show up so much earlier than we maybe think, and so like that's who they are. We couldn't tell. Like, I could not tell my daughter, who is a bundle of energy and always curious and wants, like, constant stimulation, to, like, could you just be chill? Like, that's just not who she is. She has no chill.
Well, yeah, like, for my mom, for example, she she made me, like, just a couple of months ago, made me promise her that one of my kids would become a doctor. And I was like, okay, why? You know, I mean, and
that's such an Asian culture
know.
thing. That's so funny.
she's Korean, so
Yes.
like, yeah, that I bet if we asked every Korean child if their mom wanted them to be a doctor,
or
100% across
maybe
the
an
board.
engineer.
Yeah.
Like those are your choices.
What's funny is that my little brother is an engineer. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that wasn't the pressure that I got in my family, but I think I mentioned like my dad is like. My dad is the Asian one. He's full Japanese, but we're fourth generation, and he's like the most American Asian man I know, I think. But anyways, so yeah, just that like our kids, all their personalities, they're all so different, and it's hard to like force something into them. And I think a lot of parents, they come in with such like good intentions. Like oftentimes it's like, well, I want my kid to play this sport because that's what got me through. That's what helped me. So I want them to have that too. And it's really important. Or this is how we can bond. So I want them to be interested in that. Like it's made still, the desire is out of love and wanting connection. But it can be, we have to keep ourselves in check too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. That's a fun topic though. We could keep going obviously, but I'll stop myself.